Yep, it was in the match. It's horrible. Oh, no, I remember. It was horrible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's it. In other words, I know you people can't see it, but his foot is turned almost completely around.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was what really did him, man, being so big once that leg went.
Well, go ahead, sir.
Go ahead and finish.
No, you go ahead and finish.
No, go
ahead.
ahead.
Oh, well, I was going to say, the guy, main evented 2 WrestleManias, if I'm not mistaken. He did WrestleMania 13 with Undertaker, which was a really good match, especially for Psycho Sid. The one thing they say, Psycho Sid could never talk on the mic, but he was a good wrestler. They say he was better in the ring than on the mic.
Well, of course, it wouldn't be hard to do. But no, he did main event WrestleMania 9 with Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
Because, it was a double main event, Flair and Savage. But anyway.
Double main event.
WrestleMania 8, excuse me. But they, he was good. Don't get me wrong. He deserves to be a top 10.
Right.
Number 6, Kevin Nash. Definitely, I would say top 10. Maybe higher to me.
Talk about a guy who could talk. I love to hear Kevin Nash talk. He's just good.
He got it.
Yeah.
I love what they talked about him, like when he first came out, he came out as Oz. And it was like, okay, it's supposed to be an old guy. They put a dunce cap on him.
Did you go back and watch this yet?
Yeah.
You went back and watched his old WCW matches? Okay.
That was awful.
This was one of the worst gimmicks ever, dude.
Yeah.
This guy comes out. Vinny Vegas, he goes through that, and they let him be him, kind of with Diesel. But Kevin Nash, man, one of the best ever. I think he should be higher than the next guy we're getting ready to talk about. Number 5, Big Van Vader. Don't get me wrong, Vader was a beast. I don't know if he's better than Kevin Nash, though. To me, Vader was awesome before, we really got to the edge, before WCW really started changing their way of thinking. He was big. Him and Flair had some great matches back then, him and Hogan, him and Sting. But Kevin Nash, man,
one of the first guys to do a moonsault. One of the first big guys to do a moonsault.
Yep.
Off of, Bam Bam Bigelow did one, but he kind of turned with his. Vader did a full moonsault off of the top rope. That for a big man. He's one of the first kind of big men to do a high flying move like that off the rope. Like that.
No, he can move. He definitely one of the top ones ever.
Yeah.
Top 10.
He made history with that. Because you see a lot of big men go to the rope now. And I feel you see that because of Vader. I believe that.
Yeah. Number 4, Yokozuna.
Talk about a dude, man. What was it? Over 500 pounds?
Mm-hmm.
But he
could move. For his size, he could move.
Gosh, man.
I think he can move better than some of the other guys.
Look at him. He was basically doing a super kick was in his repertoire. As big as he was doing a super kick.
I think if he stayed around, if he could have stayed around, he would have done stuff off the top rope.
Yeah.
Because, back then they really didn't go. There wasn't that many people that went to the top besides Bam Bam Bigelow. But this guy.
And I give him credit where another guy I know we're going to talk about, but he was the type of guy that could let people do moves on him. And for instance, Lex Luger slamming Yokozuna. Trust me, if Yokozuna did not want Lex Luger to slam him, there's no way Luger picks him up to slam. I don't care how roided up Luger was, okay? You're talking 500 pounds to your chest and then over.
Yeah.
That lets you know how athletic those guys are and how much they're helping other people do those moves. Credit to them for doing it, but still, those big guys are helping you with that.
The thing I love about Yokozuna is probably him and Kevin Nash, but Yoko could be in his character. I believe more in his character than probably almost any of these other big men. He made you believe it. Yeah. He was that good. Yeah. If he would wrestle long enough, 10, 12, 13-time champion, easy. He's just that good. Because the matches he had with Bret Hart, awesome. Matches he had with Undertaker, unbelievable. tag team champion. I think the only belt he didn't win was IC belt.
Yeah. Again, another thing, like we were talking with Bobby the Brain Heenan, I feel Mr. Fuji did.
No.
He didn't do as much with his career.
He helped him, but.
Yeah, no, but I mean, everybody remembers WrestleMania 9 with Mr. Fuji throwing salt at Bret Hart to lose the title.
Yeah, but you know what? I would say his biggest match was actually against The Undertaker, the coffin match.
Yeah.
At the Royal Rumble. That was, that's one of the biggest moments in Royal Rumble history. When, of course, then Undertaker started doing every coffin match, like every pay-per-view after that. But, that was really one of the first ones, and they had a great match then. But, yes, you had that one, where he did that with Bret Hart. And then he lost the belt to Hogan at the end, which
made no sense.
I hated that.
Yeah.
But I understood why they did that. Number 3, The Big Show. Argue with this what you want, but I will tell you, between WCW and what this guy has done in WCW, WWE, ECW, wherever he's been, this guy has always got it. I was watching WCW when he chased Flair out the ring. He jumped over the rope, all right, outside the ring, and ran after Flair. I don't know another big man that could do that. I know Kevin Nash couldn't. I know most of these other guys couldn't do it.
You know what? Here's the deal with here's what's happened with Big Show was I believe he was really, really good when he was young, and he had some raw talent, and he was so big and athletic. But he went to WWE, and you weren't made in WWE, and then WWE through his career has used him as a crying sideshow Bob giant.
Yeah, I think
it's taken away from him in some people's eyes.
I agree with that. I think the more crying he does and stuff, the more you're like, really? Mm-hmm. Because he could have been number 1 or 2.
Yeah.
He's had an unbelievable career, though. I
mean, because when he first came out in the WWE, you were like, oh, my gosh. Throwing Stone Cold Steve off the gate.
Steven, you didn't go back and watch the old Nitros and stuff?
No.
Dude, he jumped over the top of the rope.
No, what I'm saying, though, is when he first came into the WWE, he was good. And then, like JP was saying, they used him wrong. Because this guy could have been like a heavyweight champion a lot of times if you used him right.
No, he should have been, man. Next, number 2, The Undertaker.
Yeah.
I know you say you don't think but as a big man, definitely. I mean, he's one of those
One of the
top
big
guys
mans
ever.
to do a suicide dive out of the ring is amazing.
Well, not only that, old school, when he gets on the ropes, no one else has walked the ropes the way he did. He started that.
Well, he did it as a tribute, didn't he? Wasn't old school a tribute to another wrestler who used to do the move? He did the move. I don't remember the guy's name, but I was told that by some indie wrestlers.
Okay, yeah, he did. I can't remember the guy's name either, but Undertaker, one of the best of all time. I mean, what else can you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, longevity and what he's done with people. Again, Taker was a guy who could work with anybody. He could go from Hogan to Macho Man to Ultimate Warrior to CM Punk to Ric Flair. So he was a guy who could, get around with about anybody you put him with.
Yeah.
And then, of course, number 1, anybody surprised? Andre the Giant.
What?
Yeah.
I do. There was one guy that got left off the list.
Who?
The Mizark.
The what?
Mark Henry?
Mizark, man.
You mean Mizark?
Yeah, Mizark.
X-Pac
from D-Generation X.
Yes, Mizark was awesome.
Yeah, Mizark.
Mizark was unbelievable.
Can you cut his mic? Can you cut his mic for that?
I can't wait until they actually put that Raw up because I'm going to go back and watch that about 10
By the way,
times.
but if you watch the Monday Night Wars thing on DX, they actually play the segment. They play parts of the segment.
I hate parts of it. I want to see the whole segment.
I just want to see the part where he goes, I am not a golden nugget.
Well,
that's my favorite part.
There's so many great parts in that one little segment. I mean,
I'm going to tell you what, that may be one, that if not my favorite Raw moment, that's definitely probably top 3 on my list.
It's
honestly,
3.
It was that good.
It's top 3 on mine for sure.
Well, JP, you kind of bring a good point, though. Mark Henry, though. He's not on the list.
Well, I don't think he should be.
Why?
No.
He's never done anything.
Well,
And I'll tell you the truth, Mark Henry is not that athletic. He's big, but he's not athletic. I don't think he's any stronger than Big Show. I mean, if Big Show really wanted to be.
I kind of have to disagree with you to a point. Don't say he hasn't. He's been heavyweight champion many times. He's been
How many
U.S.
times?
champion 3, 4 maybe. My point is this guy, but look at the characters he's played too. Mm-hmm. I'm not. Do I think he's top 10? Probably not. He's probably top 20. But the characters he's played, he's gone from Sexual Chocolate to, being in Nation of Domination to being the world's strongest man. This guy has done whatever he's been asked to do.
Yeah.
And he's done it well. Like, we forget last year he had one of the best retirement things ever, and he screwed over John Cena.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of the best ones ever.
Okay, let's look at this. Mark Henry, he's been a one-time WWE European champion and a 2-time world champion, ECW championship in 2008, and then the World Heavyweight Championship in 2011. So he's had 3 championships.
So I'm not saying he should be a top 10, but let's give him some credit because he is.
Listen,
he's pretty good.
I'll give him credit, but again, there's no way he even comes remotely close to my top 10, and he's going to be maybe 20 if he's even on the list.
Who would you take off, and who would you add then?
I think, what was number 8 again?
Number 8 was Bam Bam.
I can't take Bam Bam off.
Number 10, Earthquake. Number 9, King Kong Bundy. 7, Psycho Sid. 6, Kevin Nash.
Man, it's really hard, but I want to put Viscera in there somewhere.
Big Daddy V.
Yeah, I mean, for a guy that when he came out, the reason he was imposable was just because, it wasn't his size, it was his massiveness. This big guy, and he moved around the ring, he moved. It
wasn't like Yoko or anybody else, but yeah, he moved.
He
know
did.
What you're saying.
I don't know. It's really. I mean, if I'm going to take anybody off, it's going to be at 10 or 9.
Right.
And the only guy or two that I can maybe make a case for that I put on there is. I would make a case for Big John Studd to be 9 or 10.
Really?
But again, he's not going
good.
much higher than 9 or 10.
Yeah.
I think everybody else from about 8 up, I think they're pretty solid. I mean, I could move those guys around, but they're all going to make it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not going to take – the only place I would put is 9 or 10, and then I might would throw Big John Studd on there. I might would throw – did Earthquake make the list?
He was number 10. He was 10. King Kong Bundy was 9.
I could almost change either one of those two out with Big John Studd, and I might could even make a case. I think it would be a far stretch of a case, but Big Boss Man worked with a lot of people in a lot of different companies. He never was really world champion, but he worked with a lot of people, and and was a pretty good worker.
One name I love King Kong Bundy. Don't take me wrong when I say this. I love King Kong Bundy. And y'all, I know JP will probably hate me when I say this one. To me, Kane should be up there. Kane, I mean, look, when his debut, he's been multi-time world champion. He's been tag team champion.
Yeah.
You talk about imposing big man,
but again, I would go no higher than 9 or 10 though. Right. That's the thing is
I said 10.
Right. Any of these dudes that we're putting on, you're not getting past 9. Right. There's no way you get past 9.
And the only reason is because look at the top, and maybe even 7, Psycho Sid. I might almost put Kane ahead of him.
Well, but again,
saying,
Sid would drop down to 9 or 10, but still make the list. To me personally, would still make the list. So those other guys would still be 9 or 10, or maybe 8, maybe.
A couple other names: Haystacks Calhoun, older guy.
Yeah,
Steven don't probably know who I'm talking about. But
what?
It's
by the way, you know who Haystacks Calhoun is, right?
Who?
Isn't that Jake the Snake's daddy?
I think so.
I will look that up, but I think it is.
Yeah, Haystacks Calhoun, one of the best big men of all time that no one's ever remembers today. But he's one of the best. You had Kamala was another one we didn't talk about really.
Yeah.
Our top, we did have a tweet with his top 10. He's got to stop doing honorable mentions. Kane Abdullah the Butcher. He's got number 10, Bam Bam. Number 9, Big Show. Ooh, here's